Good afternoon and welcome to Bourbon Bikes and Business with Hank, who's out of the studio today, and myself, Blaise. Thanks for checking us out. We appreciate all your listeners out there and viewers on YouTube. If you haven't followed us yet, please like and subscribe. So today, what do we got in store? Number one, like I said, Hank's out of the office, so I'm trying something completely different. Doing this myself. We're going to focus today on winter cycling apparel. I've been doing it for more years than I can remember, and I've learned a lot of things over the years about cycling apparel and what's great and what's not. So this is going to be a special edition just dedicated to that. That's all we're going to cover today. Thanks for listening. So I'll jump right in. I'm drinking my last year's favorite, Larceny. This is barrel proof. 126.4 proof, but it drinks very smoothly. As if you've joined us in the past, it's one of my favorite sips. So hopefully you have something to enjoy the show with. I'm going to run through this here and do the best I can on my own. But as I said, winter actually can be a lot more fun riding outside than you think. Number one, I just dislike the cold totally. So I've learned it's all about the right apparel, the right equipment to enjoy your wintertime ride. I'd much rather be riding outside than inside on a trainer, which many of us do. So I think I'm going to start out with some of my key features. I'd probably say the number one thing that I always go to is a base layer. This is a particular base layer. As you see, a lot of my products are from Rafa, but by no means do you need to use Rafa. You're going to see a lot of Rafa gear here today, but it's whatever works for you. The key thing is the ingredients in your apparel. And number one, it's merino wool on a base layer. Why merino wool? Because it gives you a warm feeling, even though you're soaking wet from sweat and working hard during a ride. So number one, find a really good merino wool product. The more merino wool in it, the better you're going to have and the better experience you're going to have no matter what the temperature is. I mean, I go to my base layer like that when it's usually probably below 55 or 60 degree Fahrenheit down. I'm going to reach for that base layer. In the winter, when it gets cooler, closer to say 40 degrees Fahrenheit or below, I reach for this as the next piece I put on. This again is a Rafa winter base layer. It's actually very light, weighs nothing, and it has these dimples. I don't know if you can see it in the camera. That's sort of like a waffle on the inside, but what it does is it just absorbs moisture into it, holds it, and keeps you really warm. So that's item number two that I reach for. Let's talk a little bit about other things outside the bottle. I'll get to jerseys and bibs in a second. But probably there's three key areas. Your chest is number one, and your hands and your feet are number two. In the wintertime, let me see if I can grab them here. You have to bear with me as I do this. But my favorite pair to keep my toes warm are a winter 100% merino wool Rafa sock. They call it Rafa winter sock. It's slightly thicker than your normal cycling sock, but again, your feet sweat, mine do at least, I don't know about yours, and these keep you really warm. Even if you get wet, you step in a puddle, you're in snow, it's going to keep you really toasty. If it dips down below, I'm going to say below 32, and you got some wind or rain or snow, I'm going to reach for these. These are, I think they call the Ultra, I forget the name of these. Again, these are Rafa socks, but they're even twice the thickness of the winter Rafa sock that I had here. And as you see, they'll come up over your calves. So they're going to keep not only your toes, your ankles, and all the way up to almost below your knee really warm with a winter sock. I might add, I didn't bring them with me today. There's a pair of Showers Pass, what they call, rain socks, I guess is the best way to describe them. And if I know I'm going to do a long journey, like a backpacking trip, I'm going to take those with me because even if you can dip your foot in a river and it'll keep it warm and actually fairly dry and keep it like that the whole day long. So socks that's a number 2 behind a warm chest, warm socks. Probably number 3 would be your hands. Um, this pair of gloves by Gore-Tex or Gore Wear. These are, I think they're semi-insulated. I think they're called the Infinity gloves, but they have a windproof, rainproof top, and a gripper glove with the fingers that you can actually use your cell phone, which is nice. So you don't have to take them off. But I'll wear these anywhere from 60 degrees down to maybe 35. So they're my go-to winter, spring, and fall glove. I love them. They're not terribly expensive if you find them on sale, like I did, probably at Backcountry, I think is where I bought these. So that's a real popular glove. I do have another pair that are by Castelli that I'll also go to. I'll bounce back and forth. Same thing. You want a windproof, waterproof glove for the 3 seasons. When it gets down cold like I did last week, I went out in the snow, which I don't ride a whole lot, but I do. I was riding on 4 inches of snow last week on the C&O. I think I made it 15 miles. That was about all I could take. Felt like I was mountain biking. But I'll reach for these. These are, again, a Rafa winter glove, which are insulated, but again, are very lightweight. Again, if they get wet, they keep my hands really warm. The only downside to these gloves is that if I have my camera, I got to take a glove off and put them back on. They're a little tough to get back on. Hank would probably tell you he wears what's called a lobster glove, which has one compartment for your 4 fingers and one for your thumb. I forget who makes that lobster glove. I want to say Castelli, Gore, probably one of them makes that. Also a great option for people that just want to have your other fingers moving inside your glove and keep you warm. So that's another great item. Probably, so we had chest, feet, and hands. The fourth part is your hat. Like you see, I always have cycling caps. I wear cycling caps all year round. In the wintertime, I'm going to reach for something like this. This is a really cool Quick Step vinyl, alpha vinyl floors hat. I picked up, I think Sport Pursuit. I think it was normally like $30. I got it for 10 or 12. But it's a real soft merino wool inside. I wear this just going to the store in the wintertime too. It's so comfortable. Merino wool doesn't have a visor on it, which is fine in the winter, but it covers your ears, so that's the key. And I'll wear that probably anywhere from 40 degrees to 25. When it gets really cold and I'm down to like 30, 35 and below, I'll reach for this. This is, I believe, again, Rafa's winter cycling cap. Has a visor built into it. Has some windproof built on the top, waterproof. Has merino wool ear covers and is a real light insulated merino wool on the inside. So again, what I like about Rafa, their products are durable. Yeah, they're expensive, but I always shop for a good sale when I buy them. But they last and they're lightweight, so it doesn't feel like you have something on, and it makes the ride much more enjoyable if you have something that protects you, keeps you warm, and is like it's not even there when you're wearing it. What else we have? So on the feet, I like Lake cycling shoes is some of my favorite. This is a gravel Lake shoe. What's cool, it has I think it's a Michelin rubber on the bottom. If you can see the camera there. Minimal ventilation, which is nice in the wintertime. It does have some ventilation. It has a little tiny hole in the bottom. I forget what model this is. Let me see if it says on here. Looks like the MX233. I went on Lake's, if you Google Lake outlet store, and I think I mentioned this on one of my other shows. These are $400 shoes I got for 55% off, which was a steal. And I saw them, I was like, I'll buy another pair. I had a pair of Lake already. The other pair of Lake I have has a lot more ventilation on the sides, so I wear those in the summer, spring. But this is my winter, fall, and spring shoe that I'll wear. If it's cold again, down in the 30s and below, I'll pull out a pair of these. And again, popular brands would be Castelli, Showers Pass, Gore, No, who else? This is Rafa, but this is a winter overshoe. Has a easy zip up the back. A lot of them have Velcro, place for your cleats to come through on the bottom. But if you're dealing with harsh weather, meaning wind, rain, snow, this is essential to keeping all those elements off your feet, even though they're in a wool merino sock. That helps tremendously cut down on the cold and the exposure. So let's talk about a couple other favorite things. Wintertime, I'll get to the bibs and the jerseys I wear, but Hank laughed at me when I told him about I wear actual merino wool boxer shorts. Now, I'll only pull these out if it's below 30 degrees, really windy, really cold out, just bitter, raw cold. But these will keep your lower extremities very, very warm underneath your bibs. Some people think crazy doing that, and again, I only pull them out if it's really extreme cold and I'm going to be out for many hours of the day. If I go out for an hour or so, maybe not so much. But if I'm out on a 3-4 hour winter ride, I'm reaching for these merino wool boxers. They just do the trick. And they're not that expensive, again, if you catch them on sale. Many other brands you can buy for merino wool boxing shorts. Go to Sport Pursuit, one of my favorite online shopping brands. They're over in Europe, and you can Google merino boxer shorts, and they have several brands that you can get 30 to 70% off. Again, that's Sport Pursuit, one of my favorite online stores. I'm not anything special with them. It's just one of my favorite companies to shop online for big brands. Anything outdoors. They got running clothes, jackets, hiking boots, cycling apparel, and other things. So wintertime, sometimes I don't want a lot of layers on my arms. So I'll show you the jersey I wear in a minute, but I'll wear a Castelli, is one of my favorite. Rafa makes them a little more expensive, but I can pick up a pair of Castelli thermal, actually fleece lined is what I meant to say. Fleece lined arm warmers, again on sale for half price. A lot of times I'll buy them in the off season, summer, spring. That's when you get a deal and you have them when it gets cold. But these are like I think they're rain, wind proof. So even if you're out with just these on your arms, you're going to keep you warm. Even if you get a little bit of wet, a light rain or snow even. But I like to wear them underneath the jacket, which I'm going to show you in a minute. So fleece lined arm warmers. And then I used to wear leg warmers a lot, but now I'll reach for, I think they call this a calf length leg warmer. Again, fleece lined. What's cool, it has a nice rubber gripper to grab your thigh so it doesn't slip up and down, and it's pretty tight on your ankle. But what's cool about these, they don't go all the way down to the bottom of your ankle. They'll go to the middle top of your ankle. So if you're wearing, even a sock like this, it's going to cover it to here, and you don't really have any exposure. It's a little bit lighter weight. And if it gets hot, say in a spring or fall day, you can pop these off just like the arm warmers for the rest of your ride once you're warmed up as well. So that's the nice thing about leg warmers. You can do leg or calf length, to keep your legs and arms warm in winter and in the spring, fall seasons. So let's talk about what are the best jerseys on your chest, and then I'll talk bibs last. So let's see, where do I want to start? So we talked about one or two base layers. It's all about layering in the wintertime. That's the key thing. And having the right layers, the right material. Because you could peel them off as you get warm, for some reason, if it does warm up during the course of a day. So on top of a good merino wool base layer, I'm going to pull out, depending on the temperature, again, this would be something I would pull out, a merino wool base layer of any manufacturer. This happens to be a Rafa. I think this is a classic jersey, which I'm a fan of because I'm a little bit broader in the shoulders and chest. So it fits me really well versus a race fit. But this is a very versatile, it's one of the first, I think it's the first product I ever bought from Rafa probably 12 years ago, was their classic jersey. And to this day, I still love it because it's soft. They made the merino wool a little bit softer. It's a little bit thinner than the original one, but it just keeps you warm. And you can wear it in summertime because merino wool actually breathes in the heat or the cold and keeps you warm in the cold. But if it's in the, say, 40 to even 60-degree range, I'll just throw this on with the base layers, one or two, and my arm warmers, and maybe a vest, which I'll show you in a second, and I'm good to go for winter, say, in that not so real cold but cool. And that applies to spring and fall as well. One of my recent pickups, I've been looking for one of these for a while. This is, again, no, this is the Brevet. I think it's the Brevet line. This is the Brevet long sleeve jersey, merino wool jersey. I also like it because of the reflective details. So if you're on the road, which I try to avoid, but if you are, it's going to give you some good visibility on roads. Or if you're in the woods, visibility to the deer and the bald eagles that are flying where I ride. But what's cool about this jersey, again, merino wool, long sleeve arms. So you don't need the arm warmers with it. And it's got 3 pockets across the back. It's got a side pocket here for your credit card or some cash. And then it even has so that's 5 pockets. There's one across the middle you could put a tube in, some gels, whatever else gear you're carrying, maybe a raincoat or a vest you can pack in there. So this is a really nice looking jersey. Again, I think I picked it up, I don't know where I got this, but it was less than half price. So it was a great bargain, and I love it. It's one of my latest favorite jerseys. So you have a short sleeve merino, a long sleeve merino, depending on what the conditions are, how cold. And another favorite go-to is this. This is called the Brevet. Again, Rafa Brevet Wind. I think they call it the Brevet Wind jersey. So what's cool about it, it has a windproof material on the front. It's made in merino wool, slightly lighter than the classic or the Brevet. And then on the back of the sleeves, it's merino wool, but it's actually very light. You can almost, you see the camera, you can see through it. So it breathes out the back, which is great. Now, this doesn't have 5 pockets. I think it has just the 3. It does have a side pocket. So it has 4 pockets. So one for your valuables or cell phone, whatever you want to stick in there. But again, nice reflective gear, windproof on the front and arms, so it keeps your chest cool. And you could throw a vest over this, and you're good to go with probably down to 45, anywhere from 45 to 60 degrees. That's a great item. So I've been talking about vests. This has become, over recent years, one of my favorite pieces. This is, let me think of the name. What is this called? I think it's a Rafa Brevet insulated jersey. There's so many different jerseys or gilets that Rafa and many other companies sell. I used to have Castelli GABA material, which was really good with the rain and the wind, but it's heavy. This thing weighs nothing, and you can pack it in down to a sandwich size Ziploc and stick it, like I said, in the back any of your pockets of any jersey. Tuck it away halfway into a ride and forget about it. But again, it's got like a windproof, it's mesh on the sides. I think I don't have any pockets on this. I actually bought my partner one for her running recently, and the new one for the women's had a pocket. I think it had pockets on the back, and it had a side pocket for valuables too, which is, I guess, an upgrade. The newer versions might have that. And a 2-way zipper, which is cool. So you can zip down or zip up depending on, temperature and that. Sometimes I'll just ride with this wide open just to keep my back a little bit warmer. But a gilet or vest, I call it a vest, is a great option. 3 seasons, spring, fall, and winter. I'll even wear it out on a 40-degree day. Just build up the base layers, 1 or 2 base layers on my arms, whether it's a single short sleeve jersey or long sleeve with or without the arm warmers, and throw that on. You don't even need a jacket. And again, what's cool about all this, it doesn't feel like you have anything on. It's so light, and you're not focusing on the gear, you're focusing on your ride. This is probably the most recent jersey I bought, or not jersey. Now we're into jackets. So this is, I think it's called the Brevet Insulated Jacket, similar to the vest, but now a long sleeve jacket. No pockets. I don't think so. Yeah, no pockets on this. But again, it's this is a newer version of what I used to have. I'll show you my older one. It's got, let me see if I can show you in the camera. There you can see it. It's like a waffle, much like that turtleneck I showed you earlier. A waffle interior that is like absorbs your sweat. So again, it's going to absorb, pull that moisture off your jersey, whatever you have underneath it. I mean, I've worn this with just a base layer out in 60 degrees, and it feels like you have nothing on. You have a t-shirt and this. But this also is a great barrier for wind, light rain. I don't know if I go out in a rainstorm with it, probably not. But that's a neat little jacket that I got recently. Couple more jackets here, and then we'll talk about leggings and shorts. This is my winter go-to. So, winter jackets, there's so many options out there. I think I used to have Castelli again. I'm trying to think of the name. I think it's the Alpha jacket. Hank just bought one recently. It's got a combination of different materials, sort of like GABA. It's almost like a neoprene, like the arm warmers and leggings we just looked at. Pretty pricey. Again, you can find them on sale. I think they run like $300-400 list, but you can usually get them for $150 on a really good sale somewhere. But that's a great jacket. This is Rafa's older version of the insulated jacket. Or I want to say it's the winter insulated jacket, which is different than what I just showed you. This doesn't have the waffle material inside. I'm trying to remember what's on the inside of this. It's like a real light insulation between the inner and outer shell. And they're both soft, like a windproof material. Again, no pockets on this, but it is breathable on the back of the arms. And what's cool, I just realized the other day looking at this, there's a slot up on the shoulders that lets the perspiration and the heat out. So the key with this is it keeps you really warm, but it lets out the heat that your body's creating when you're riding a lot. So this is probably my ultimate favorite outer layer for winter that I go to. I don't wear it much in spring and fall, but it's just sitting on that rack for the really cold days. I would say anywhere from upper 30s down degrees Fahrenheit. I'm going to reach for my winter jacket again because it weighs nothing. It's just doesn't feel like I have anything on, and it's got that bright reflective material if I do get on a road somewhere. And I can't not mention, this is Hank and I both, we love this jacket. I got him turned on to it after I've had one for a couple of years. If I'm riding any time of the year, this jacket really is applicable. But if you're out in the rain, there's only one jacket to get and save your money, and it's the Gore-Tex Shake Dry jacket. In recent years, they've finally come out with some in colors. I actually had a pink one that was EF Racing Team edition. I bought it, and it was too small for my Husky or Clydesdale body form that I have. So I had to actually sell it, but I wish it fit me because it was all bright pink with blue lines on the back and everything. But this does have a pocket in the back, so you can stick something in there. It comes down lower in the back to cover your butt, but weighs nothing. This thing, again, folds up to smaller than a Ziploc sandwich bag, which you can stow anywhere in your body, on your bike, in your bag on your bike or wherever. And it will stop anything. Wind, rain will keep you bone dry almost. I did my bike ride across Maryland a couple of years ago, and I don't think I was out of my driveway for a half hour, and I hit the hardest downpour I've ever been in my life for probably the first hour and a half of my ride. And I was so happy I had this on, which was great. Trying to find one other thing here. Along with this, I have a Gore-Tex Shake Dry hat, cap, I should say. And again, weighs nothing, but I would throw this over whatever I got on my head or just wear it by itself. And it's going to keep your head dry too and give you a visor to keep the rain off your face. So these are essentials. The other company I would say to get a good wind barrier rain jacket would be Showers Pass. Look them up. They make an excellent product as well. A close second to Gore's Shake Dry jacket that both Hank and I love. A couple more things here, and I think we're almost through everything. While I'm thinking about this, let me just remind all our viewers on YouTube and all the podcast forums to please like and share if you like our confirmation or information on the podcast. Share it with your friends, family, business associates, and leave some comments on YouTube so that anything you'd like to hear on the future go forward as far as content go. We'd love to hear from you. So remember to do that. So here's, in recent years, I don't wear shorts ever. I'm a bibs kind of guy, but I picked up these again on Sport Pursuit, and this is a Rafa fleece-lined winter bib, and I found it in this really cool green color. I think they make it in a burgundy I've seen before. I also have a black pair. I have two pair of these, but these are nice. They have a really sticky thigh material to grab your fleece leggings that you're wearing, but it's a nice thick fleece lined bib all the way up to the middle of your chest. These things rock. I just love them. Real lightweight top, so it's not going to impede upon whatever you're wearing in addition to that. And it's sort of like almost feels like a light neoprene, like fishing waders, but so it repels the water, snow, rain like no tomorrow. So these I'll reach for if the weather's iffy, windy, and typically below 50 degrees is where I'll reach for these and throw on a pair of leggings. And like I said, a vest, long sleeve, couple base layers, and I'm good to go. And I'm comfy as heck in these. You don't even need those merino wool bibs underneath these. They're just a great product. Probably 3 season, depending on how cool spring and fall is where you are. So I just love a fleece lined bib, short with leggings. Like I said, not even leggings, but the knee high, or how you call it, calf length leggings, I guess. And lastly, I only pull these out of the rack when it's really cold, below 35. I actually have 2 pair of winter full bibs. This is when I was a member of Rafa's cycling club, the RCC. Picked these up. These are actually almost identical to the last pair of bib shorts I just showed you. Same kind of heavy duty, fleece lined, nice grippers on the end. It's got some reflectors on the sides. These have fleece right up your back, probably halfway up your back. I think I have pockets. Yeah, there's 2 pockets in the back of these. So these are my absolute heavy winter, rain, snow, wind go-to bibs. They're a little pricey. Again, I found them on sale when I got them. But I've had these probably for, I'm going to say 6-7 years now, and they're like brand new because I'm not wearing them all the time. I'm just wearing them when it's really, really cool out. So that's what I'm using in the really cold days and the really cold snow. I also have a pair of Brevet. I didn't bring them down. I forgot. Brevet full bib. I'll call it a 3-season bib. So they're fleece lined, but they're a little bit lighter with the outside material and the fleece. What's cool about them, they have the pink and white stripes on the calves. And I think it has a Rafa logo on the leg. They have 3 pockets in the back. And they even have a side zipped pocket on one leg, one thigh, and on the other leg, you got the wide open mesh pocket, like my favorite cargo shorts, bib shorts. So if I'm out even in spring, fall, and winter riding, I stop at a sub shop, pick up a half a hoagie, I stick it on my leg and ride down the road. And when I'm ready to eat it, I can eat it wherever I stop. So that's another pair of bibs that I wear in the 3 seasons, depending on those. I'll pull out anywhere from maybe 40 degrees to 60 even. If I don't feel like dealing with leggings and shorts, it's a great option. 3 season when it's that cool weather, windy, maybe a light rain, to protect myself on that. So covered a lot of different things today. I hope this helps you with some ideas to improve your winter riding. Again, the keys are layering, finding good merino wool products. Again, it doesn't have to be Rafa. As you see, I like Rafa because I've tried a lot of different brands over the years, and Rafa, if I find a good deal on a sale, they're durable. Yeah, they're stylish, but I like them mainly because of the functionality, and they wear really well. And every couple of years, I put them out on eBay, and I get a good price to resell them, and I go get something new. So you can get a good resale price on them. Now, if Hank were here, he would tell you, go to Amazon and buy a pair of winter bibs for $39.99, which I love, Hank, and that's great. And many people can do that. And occasionally you might find some things, I think, in the summer, spring, and fall you can get away with. But when it comes to waterproof, keeping you warm in the off-season winter hours of riding, you're better to go with a Gore, Rafa, Castelli, some of the top name brands, even like Kraft. I'm trying to think who else comes to mind. What's the other one? Giordana is another good one. They're based out of North Carolina here in the States. So there's some great products out there. If you watch, I'm trying to think which episode, maybe I'll get Hank to post it. I posted online purchasing of cycling apparel. Watch that show. I gave, I think it was 30 different links of where to shop for apparel. And we covered some of the companies and online stores I talked about today on there. So check that podcast out, episode, whatever. Hank put that in there for me. And be back next week with Hank. Have a great week. I really appreciate all the support, the likes and the downloads with everybody. I talked to a friend of mine in Pennsylvania today. She was at the gym and she said our podcast popped up and she was listening to our trip about the Pans route in Pennsylvania. So maybe she'll do some rides with me to get in shape. So great to see everybody. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week on our podcast. Have a great week. Take care. See ya.